Joy and welcome to my channel. It's first thing in the morning. I accidentally slept in because it's such a gray, drizzly day today. It was not on purpose, which means I'm kind of getting a later start on my day than I would love to. I like to get up around 7:30, 8 at the latest, so that I have my morning before I go into work. Just sat at my vanity. I've got all my makeup done except for lipstick. This is my go-to. I really like it. It's by The Balm Cosmetics, which is a very pricey brand, I'm not gonna lie, but their packaging is so cute. It has this vintage cartoony feel. What I tend to gravitate to is their lipsticks. Well, they're liquid lipsticks. This one is called Meet Matte Hues Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in the color Charismatic. It's just the perfect fall brown. It's just yummy. You know those colors that you put it on and you're like, yes, this is buttery soft. It smells great, has kind of a minty scent. It just goes with my complexion perfectly. And I'm a nude color kind of girl anyway, so it doesn't take much to make me happy. But today is not about makeup. Today is about getting ready for a really fun day. There's apparently this book fair at the Troy Fairgrounds where libraries come together and sell their books that they're not gonna have in the library anymore for super cheap. I think every bag of books is $2. A bag of books is $2. I didn't want to pass that up. If you're new around here and don't know, hi, I'm Cass, I'm a bookworm. I love immersing myself into an adventure and escaping through the world of literature, and I love books. And I also recently did a giveaway where there were 3 winners, and I haven't shopped for any of them yet, which is why I wanted to go, not just for me, I mean a little bit for me, but mostly to shop for my giveaway winners. The premise is that it's a blind date with a book, so they're not gonna know what they get. I'm gonna wrap it in paper and give a little synopsis on the front so that they can kind of tell what they're getting into. I've asked each of their preferences so that I'm curating it to what they like. Ideally, I'd like it to be a book that I've already read and can endorse. If it's not, I'll just have to say, I've not read this, but it sounds up your street, so take whatever's in here with a grain of salt. And I've even convinced my friend Ashley to come along with me. She may or may not appear on camera. She's very camera shy, which I totally respect. She may just be a floating voice or the back of a head. But she will be coming with me. I just hope it doesn't rain. In fact, let me check the weather. Great, it's 50% chance of rain. And I have no idea if this is an indoor thing inside of a barn or if it's an outdoor thing with tents set up or potentially no tents at all. This will be fun. I'm armed with coffee, been sipping on that all morning. I'm in the coziest crew neck right now. It's just so cozy. I don't ever wear it out because it's still not quite cold enough to wear long sleeves, but in the morning when it's chilly and I'm not moving around all that much, it's the coziest thing and I've been living in it. Anyway, that's what's on the docket for today's vlog. I'm gonna figure out something fun to do with my hair and get the day going. Too much? I'm gonna wear it later when I go to the book festival, but is it too much right now? I feel like it might be. Oh, I don't know. I'll leave it off for now. While I'm still sipping my coffee, I thought I would sit down and give you guys some really exciting news. This has nothing to do with the secret that's gonna be revealed here soon. This is something else entirely. This is about my chai project. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you really should. It's where I tend to update you first. I let you know when vlogs are up over there. I poll you for your opinions all the time and basically capture life moments that aren't on vlogs over there. Last night at 11 p.m. I notified you all that I finished my my chai project. It was basically just a video of me typing the end, and it was surprisingly emotional. I rarely cry when I read books, and I don't think I've ever cried while writing my own book scenes. But last night I was going back and rewriting the love declaration, you know, that moment. When I first wrote it, I really liked it, and then as time went on, it just felt really flat and blah, and it didn't evoke any kind of emotion in me. And if it's not evoking anything in me, it's not going to evoke anything in my readership. So I rewrote it entirely, love it, but I was crying. I was getting really choked up as I'm writing this really sweet love declaration, and I felt like that was a good sign. If I'm moved by my own writing, I feel like y'all might like it too. And I finished it. It officially has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and a bonus chapter that may or may not make it to print when all is said and done, but I'll make sure that it's available to you somehow, some way. And now my job is to go through it with some annotating things and fix all the problems. For anybody who doesn't know how long a book should be, this is about right. This is double-sidedly printed, single-spaced, and for comparison, my Night Sky project, which is my fantasy book, took up not only 2 of these binders, but they were the big binders. It's a big book, and I'm working on getting it smaller. But just for comparison's sake, this is a normal-sized book. It's about 130,000 words, which is a little more than a typical romance book should be. The goal was to have 120,000 words, and I exceeded it by 10,000, so that gives me a little bit of wiggle room. I don't think it's a deal breaker in the publishing world if you go over by 10,000, but it gives me a little bit of room to add and subtract as I edit, and that is my job for the next good while. I won't be doing that today, but I thought I would just update you and let you know that that's where I'm at with my chai project. A lot of you congratulated me on Instagram when I posted that it was finished, and that just warmed my heart so much. But since today is a very bookish day, I thought I would tell you that little book update. Also, I was looking for a 3-ring binder, which I knew I had somewhere in my office, and not only did I come across this one that wasn't used, but look at the colors. These are autumn colors. I couldn't have planned that better myself. This, I think, was either high school me or college me that had this binder, and I kept it because I'm sort of a pack rat. But look, I'm validated in my pack rattiness because it paid off. Just saying. This is what a day at work does to my hair. Look at that braid. It looks so ratty now. It's okay. We're gonna add a hat to combat the rain. I don't think I want to take an umbrella with me. It just is one more thing to carry. I'm under a tree, so all of the raindrops sound really heavy.
Hey.
Hello, I just parked. Are you inside?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll be in a minute.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, I am back in the car. My arms and shoulders are killing me from carrying all of these really heavy books. I'm not gonna go into everything I got right now. I'm gonna wait until I get home to do that because it's raining and I'd kind of like to get home before it starts picking up again. But I do want to tell you that I was misinformed by the website that I looked at. I thought that everything was $2 for a bag, but that's actually happening tomorrow. Today, every book was 50 cents. Not a bad deal, just not what I was expecting. Thankfully, I brought enough money to cover that. I have one bag of 3 kids books and then an entire huge bag full of adult books. I'm definitely gonna seatbelt these in because I don't want them flying everywhere. I want them secure for the ride home. I was able to pick up quite a few book ideas for my giveaway winners. I picked up anything I felt like was something I wanted to look into more, whether to read it for myself or was a good candidate for those winners. I figured for what I thought was $2 a bag, I would just grab it and put it in there. And after looking through them properly with a little more time on my hands, I could decide which book fit each winner best. So there's a lot of just in case books in my pile of goodies. It's almost 6 o'clock now, so I'm gonna head home, get some dinner, fix myself a cup of hot tea, get cozy after all of this dreary rain, and show you all the books I got. Alright, I'm back home. I've had dinner, I've had tea. I'm also sipping on an acai or acai berry smoothie from Tropical Smoothie. I just asked for the sugary syrup to not be put in. It tastes delicious. And when I got home, I had a very apropos package waiting for me. Book of the month. I'm not sponsored, but I'm gonna give you the spiel anyway because as a fellow bookworm, it's my job to convince you that you need this in your life. Book of the month is a subscription box that you can get every single month. It's like a birthday present to yourself where you can choose from 10 or so different books, different authors, different genres, different plots, different tropes. If you don't like the books on offer, you can always look at previous months. My favorite aspect is that you can put add-ons to your order. You don't have to just stop at one book. It does cost a little bit extra, but not by much. If you use my code in the description box, you can get your first Book of the Month box for $5. So not only are you treating yourself with a beautiful hardback every single month, but you're also supporting authors who haven't had a chance to be in the limelight yet. That's one of the things I love about Book of the Month. They showcase and feature authors who are a little bit newer to the scene, and if you know anything about authoring, it's hard out there. You have to market yourself because publishing houses don't really do it for you anymore. So any spotlight on your work is a godsend. And the fact that Book of the Month is doing that for so many authors is the reason I choose to support them month after month, because I want to be introduced to those authors first. I want to help them grow their readership. So this month I chose 3 books because I couldn't just pick one. So not only did I pick my October book, but I also picked 2 add-ons to tack on to my order. I'm very excited. I'm gonna open it now. Oh my word. Okay. Look at this cover. Is that not stunning? I'm just gonna cover my face so you can take it in. Look how beautiful. This book is called Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. It looks so pretty. I'm gonna read the inside cover so that you know what it's about. And also for me as a refresher because I don't really remember. I dream sometimes about a house I've never seen. Opal is a lot of things. Orphan, high school dropout, full-time cynic, and part-time cashier. But above all, she's determined to find a better life for her younger brother Jasper. One that gets them out of Eden, Kentucky, a town remarkable for only 2 things: bad luck and E. Starling, the reclusive 19th century author of The Underland, who disappeared over 100 years ago. All she left behind were dark rumors and her home. Everyone agrees that it's best to ignore the uncanny mansion and its misanthropic heir, Arthur. Almost everyone, anyway. I should be scared, but in the dream, I don't hesitate. Opal has been obsessed with The Underland since she was a child. when she gets the chance to step inside Starling House and make some extra cash for her brother's escape fund. She can't resist. But sinister forces are digging deeper into the buried secrets of Starling House, and Arthur's own nightmares have become far too real. As Eden itself seems to be drowning in its own ghosts, Opal realizes that she might finally have found a reason to stick around. In my dream, I'm home. And now she'll have to fight. Welcome to Starling House. Enter, if you dare. That sounds so good. I love it. If you give me an old house with secrets, I'm fully on board. So this was one of the picks for this month. This is the one I chose. The add-on that I picked next is called The Unmaking of June Pharaoh. This is by Adrienne Young, and I will read the front cover. In the small mountain town of Jasper, North Carolina, June Pharaoh is waiting for fate to find her. The Pharaoh women are known for their thriving flower farm and for the mysterious curse that has plagued their family line. The whole town remembers the madness that led to Susanna Pharaoh's disappearance, leaving her daughter June to be raised by her grandmother and haunted by rumors. It's been a year since June started seeing and hearing things that aren't there. Faint wind chimes, a voice calling her name, and a mysterious door appearing out of nowhere. Signs of what June has always known is coming. But June is determined to end the curse once and for all, even if she must sacrifice the hope of love and a family of her own. After her grandmother's death, June discovers a series of cryptic clues regarding her mother's disappearance, except these only lead to more questions. But could the door she once assumed was a hallucination be the answer she's been searching for? The next time it appears, June realizes that she can touch it and walk through the threshold. And when she does, she embarks on a journey that will not only change both the past and the future, but also uncover the lingering mysteries of her small town and entangle her heart in an epic star-crossed love. That sounds so good. I love a good mystery. I love when magic is involved. I don't know what kind of magic this will include. I may have to DNF it depending on the type, but it seems innocent enough. It seems very practical magic-y. It's kind of in that vein, so we will see, but it sounds excellent. This one, my last add-on, was the one I really wanted, more than the other two books. This is the one I was looking forward to most. It's called The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. I have seen this book all over Instagram, all over YouTube. My favorite booktubers are talking about it nonstop, and I just needed it in my life, okay? The inside reads, Sadie Revelair has always believed that the curse of 4 heartbreaks that accompanies her magic would be worth the price. But when her grandmother is diagnosed with cancer with only weeks to live, and her first heartbreak, Jake McNeely, returns to town after a decade, her carefully constructed life begins to unravel. With the news of their grandmother's impending death, Sadie's estranged twin brother Seth returns to town, bringing with him deeply buried family secrets that threaten to tear Sadie's world apart. Their grandmother has been the backbone of the family for generations, and with her death, Sadie isn't sure she'll have the strength to keep the family and her magic together. As feelings for Jake begin to rekindle, and with her grandmother growing sicker by the day, Sadie faces the last of her heartbreaks, and she has to decide, is love more important than magic? Oh, it sounds so good! But can we just appreciate the cover for a second? Look at how darling. Look at how enchanting. There's a coffee cup, or maybe a teacup on the front. How whimsical is that? Love it. And like I said, every book of the month book, no matter if it's an add-on or your pick for the month, all come as beautiful hardbacks. I think that's really classy, and honestly, you pay so much less for a hardback through book of the month than you would at a Barnes & Noble or someplace like that. Book of the month always adds on a bookmark to your order, and this one reads, "Boo, it's me, a reading break." I think that's adorable. Don't forget to check out my referral code in the description box. That will get you your first book of the month book for $5. You can't beat that. Okay, now that we've gone through book of the month and chatted about that a little bit, I think it's time to go through all of the books I got. Like I said in the car, these were all 50 cents each, and let me see if I can sort of organize these to some degree. So that we're sort of on theme as I go. Most of these are new titles to me. I only briefly read the inside cover, or the title looked enticing. If it looked like something I would enjoy, I picked it up because I knew it would be really cheap to do so. The first book I'll get out of the way is one that I've already spoken to you about. I think it was in my video where I talk about books that I reread every single year. The 13th Tale is one of my top 10 favorite books of all time. I recommend it to absolutely everybody. Basically, my rule of thumb is if I ever see this in the wild, I pick it up, especially if it's a bargain price. But I didn't just find one, I found two. So I picked both of them up. I will not be keeping them. I'm gonna give them to people for Christmas, things like that. If there are books that I love that are in my top 10 favorites and I see them out and about for a good price, I pick them up so that I can gift them to my friends and have them join in on the joy of reading them too. Some of these books are for my giveaway winners. Some of them are for me, but I'm not gonna tell you which. So that it's still kind of a surprise. I haven't fully decided on which books I'm giving to my giveaway winners. I kind of picked a myriad of choices so that I could decide later. So I can't even avoid talking about them because I don't even know what I'm giving them yet. If you're a giveaway winner and you don't want to know any of the book options that I'm considering, don't watch this part of the video. But if you don't care, I'm gonna tell you about them. There were a lot of whodunits in this place. I picked up 4 whodunits, which I think is pretty decent. The first one I'm going to talk to you about is this book. I'm gonna let you see the cover. It's got a little bakery on the front. It's called And Then There Were Crumbs, a Cookie House Mystery. This is by Eve Calder, and it looks like a pretty quick read. Welcome to the Cookie House. Kate McGuire's life was sweet in Manhattan before she lost her restaurant job, but sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles, and so she's starting from scratch in the island town of Coral Cay, Florida. Do you see why I picked it up? It's got a cute little setting. It takes place in Florida. I mean, this is a Cassie book, for sure. It has everything she's looking for, friendly locals, and a help wanted sign in the bakery shop window. Once she convinces the shop's crusty owner, Sam Hepplewhite, to hire her, Kate can't tie on her apron fast enough. Little does she know that trouble, like warm dough, is on the rise. Stuart Lord is a real estate developer with a taste for a different type of dough, the green kind. He could make a killing by purchasing the cookie house from Sam, though Sam won't sell. But when Stuart turns up dead after eating a fresh batch of Sam's cinnamon rolls, all eyes focus on the town's beloved bakery. With Sam arrested, Kate must prove that her curmudgeon-y boss is innocent and catch the real culprit with his hand in the cookie jar before someone else gets burned. That sounds so cute! I love all the tongue-in-cheek phrases. I love the setting. I think this sounds like a really sweet, pun totally intended, whodunit, and I cannot wait to dig in. The next whodunit is called The Christy Caper. This is by Caroline G. Hart. Let me give you a close-up of the cover while I'm thinking about it, because I don't want to forget that. These are so cool. They're kind of retro, aren't they? They're not quite the same style as we see with new releases now. They're a little bit different, but I love them for that reason. When was this published? That's an interesting question. Ah, the 1990s. Okay, so that makes sense. This definitely looks like something from the 1990s. Very retro, very fun with the colors and the detail. I love it. The inside cover reads, in honor of the 100th anniversary of Agatha Christie's birth, her #1 fan, Annie Lawrence Starling, owner of the Death on Demand bookstore, is hosting a spectacular Christie convention. It is to be a week-long celebration complete with treasure hunt, title clues, and Christie trivia. Yet even as the champagne is chilling and the happy guests are arriving, Annie can't help but feel a niggling sense of doom. Well, it wouldn't be who had done it if you didn't. It's not that she doesn't expect some excursions into crime during the Christy Caper. After all, the cutthroat competition of a Christie treasure hunt can push even law-abiding souls to dirty tricks and outright cheating. But Annie's worst fears and her vision of mildly larcenous behavior pile at the arrival of Neil Bledsoe, the most despised book critic in America. Bledsoe can have only one purpose in crashing Annie's ill-fated fete? F-E-T-E. How do you pronounce that? I don't know. Trouble. Yet who could have foreseen just how much? Before the first Christie title clue is solved, 2 vicious attempts are made on Bledsoe's life, and Annie and her unflappable husband Max find themselves conducting an investigation with a suspect list a mile long. It seems that almost every author, editor, and agent present has an intensely personal reason for hating the conniving critic. Then the real reason for Bledsoe's appearance at the convention emerges. He's penning a surrealist biography of Agatha Christie designed to smear the memory of the late Grand Dame of Suspense. Annie finds herself trying to stop a murder in the making, only to find that the first corpse isn't the one she suspects, and worse yet, the first corpse won't be the last. This sounds so good. That description was so delicious. The words that she used were really descriptive and kind of tongue-in-cheek. I really liked it. That sounds so good. I really want to dive into that right now. The next whodunit is called A Killer Stitch by Maggie Sefton. I'm gonna give you a little close-up of the cover. Is it focusing on me or what is it focusing on? There we go. I think you can see it now. It looks like a spindle from Sleeping Beauty. Oh my gosh. Not only does it say a knitting mystery, but it also says delicious recipe and knitting pattern included. That's amazing. I love that so much. I didn't notice that before. Okay, I think it's time we read the inside cover. 'Tis the season for knitters in chilly Fort Connor, Colorado. Scarves, sweaters, mittens, and murder. Amid the seasonal cheer of her local family of cowboys and yarn weavers, Kelly Flynn's intent on trying to separate innocent from icy deceit. The house of Lambspun has been bombarded by holiday knitters. In the midst of overflowing bins of sumptuous yarn, unexpected winter romance buzzes in chorus with the spindles of shy new spinning instructor Lucy Adair. When an alpaca rancher is found dead in Bellevue Canyon, avid knitter and sometimes sleuth Kelly Flynn quickly puts these front range pastimes aside. With his reputation for lovin' and leavin' the ladies of Fort Connor, it seems a little strange that the victim's final admirer was a fiancé. None other than the hopelessly bereaved Lucy Adair. Unluckily, Kelly also finds herself linked to the prime suspect in the case, a rejected former lover of the Playboy rancher. Charged with keeping both spinner and spurned from going over the edge, she'll soon discover more than a few secrets tangled on this triad's bobbin. These book blurbs are so good! Oh my goodness! Yeah, I keep saying this about every single book, but this sounds so good. I am totally down for reading this. And I like how they're not super long books. These feel like the kind you would just breeze right through. Love that. The last and final of the whodunits. This book. Let's see if I can get it to focus on the book. I'm sort of peeking out over the side so that I can see what's going on. It's a coffee shop. This is not only a coffee house mystery, but it has a coffee shop on the front. As soon as I saw that, I didn't really care what the book was about. I just knew I needed this in my life, so I picked it up. It's called Shot in the Dark by Cleo Coyle, and the front cover reads, a new smartphone dating game turns the Village Blend into a hookup hotspot until one dark night when a gunshot leaves a dead body behind and the landmark coffee house becomes the center of a whole new scene, a crime scene. As Village Blend manager Claire Cozy, that's so cute. Oh my goodness. That's so good. As Village Blend manager Claire Cozy attempts to finalize a date for her wedding, her ex-husband becomes addicted to making dates through smartphone swipes. Claire has mixed feelings about these quickie matchups happening in her coffee house, but she works hard to keep the espresso shots flowing, never expecting that someone will commit to murder. The corpse is a successful entrepreneur who became notorious for his hit-it-and-quit-it behavior, prowling for women on dating apps, then devastating his conquests with morning-after insults. Though the NYPD quickly arrests one of his victims, Claire finds reason to believe she's been framed. Now, with the help of her ex, Claire starts swiping through suspects in her own shop, determined to find the real killer before it's lights out for both of them. Includes a bang-up menu of tempting recipes. This seems to be a running theme with these food or drink-based books. Oh, it is! In the back of the book, they've got recipes! Mommy and Me chocolate chip cookies, the Euclid's world famous banana smoothie, sparkling pear pick-me-up, pork chops smothered in onions. This has so many, you can see how many pages I'm turning. These have so many recipes in the back. The Village Blends espresso shortbread. Well, I'm obviously gonna have to try to make that. All right, that's it for the whodunits. Now on to witches. If you don't know, I have really enjoyed the book series by Deborah Harkness. The one to do, what is it called? I have it right there and I can't see it, it's too far away. What's it called? A Discovery of Witches. It's also been made into a TV show if you want something that's very academic, takes place in England at, what's the main university there? The big one, the one that starts with C. You're all probably screaming it at me and I can't think of it, but I'll put it on the screen because by the time editing Cassie gets to this, she'll probably remember. It has a lot lot of coziness to the setting, but the story is so gripping. It has to do with a woman who's a witch but wants nothing to do with her magic. She's rejected everything. She tries to live as human as possible. Turns out she is one of the most powerful witches ever, and the minute she figures out that she wants to access her powers, she realizes she can't. Along the way, she meets a very, very dashing British vampire who is very attractive in the TV show, by the way. It's a whirlwind adventure. So much happens. Basically, if you liked Twilight as a younger person, but now as a grown-up you think it's a little weird, but you still kind of like the vibes, A Discovery of Witches is the one for you. Basically, it's like a way better, more grown-up version of Twilight. In the best way possible. I hope that doesn't make you not want to read it. Anyway, all that to say, Deborah Harkness has this book called Times Convert. This is part of the All Souls trilogy, and it takes place around Matthew de Clermont, who happens to be the vampire that our main character from A Discovery of Witches falls for. The tagline reads, "What does it take to become a vampire?" On the battlefields of the American Revolution, Matthew de Clermont meets Marcus McNeil, a young surgeon from Massachusetts, during a moment of political awakening when it seems that the world is on the brink of a brighter future. When Matthew offers him a chance at immortality and a new life free from the restraints of his puritanical upbringing, Marcus seizes the opportunity to become a vampire. But his transformation is not an easy one, and the ancient traditions and responsibilities of the de Clermont family clash with Marcus's deeply held beliefs in liberty, equality, and brotherhood. Fast forward to contemporary Paris, where Phoebe Taylor, the young employee at Sotheby's, whom Marcus has fallen for, is about to embark on her own journey to immortality. Though the modernized version of the process at first seems uncomplicated, the couple discovers that the challenges facing a human who wishes to become a vampire are no less formidable than they were in the 18th century. The shadows that Marcus believes he escaped centuries ago may return to haunt them both forever. A passionate love story and a fascinating exploration of the power of tradition and the possibilities not just for change, but for evolution. Times Convert channels the supernatural world building and slow burning romance that made the All Souls trilogy instant bestsellers to illuminate a new and vital moment in history, and a love affair that will bridge centuries. The Discovery of Witches series have 3 books: A Discovery of Witches, Shadow of Night, and The Book of Life. I've only read half of A Discovery of Witches, then I started watching the TV show and never finished it, but I liked what I read and I loved what I watched. So I feel like once I finish that series, this will be a great book to get me back into that universe again. I feel like that story is the kind that's going to leave me with a major book hangover, and I feel like this might be the cure. The final witchy book that I picked up is called Wicked Witch Murder by Leslie Meyer. The cover is a simple one, basically tells you everything you need to know about what it's about. Apparently Leslie Meyer has written quite a few books. She's got a lot here on the front cover. Mother's Day Murder, Father's Day Murder, Wedding Day Murder, Mistletoe Murder, St. Patrick's Day Murder, Trick or Treat Murder, Candy Cane Murder, and Christmas Cookie Murder. Basically all the lovely holidays ruined. In the tiny town of Tinker's Cove, Maine. As soon as I read that, I picked it up. I didn't even need to hear the rest of it. It takes place in Maine. That's all I needed to know, but I'll read you the rest. Newcomer Diane Ravenscroft has opened Solstice, a charming little shop featuring candles, crystals, jewelry, and psychic readings. Now pause. That is the only thing that I'm a little iffy on. I don't like anything to do with that. But if it's just very innocent, very light, and doesn't really go into any of the depths of psychic readings, I'll be fine. But I may have to DNF this, just letting you know. There's just a few book boundaries that I don't cross. That's one of them, but we'll see. The timing is eerily perfect for Halloween season, especially after an unnervingly accurate reading by Diana gets Lucy Stone more than a little spooked. And then she stumbles across a dead body on one of the old logging roads behind her house. When it turns out that Diana knew the murder victim, a prominent local businessman starts a campaign against her, blaming the witch for everything from the unseasonal dry spell to his wife's illness and his pumpkin's lack of plumpness. Now, as the October moon rises over the town's Halloween party preparations, a killer plans a lethal celebration of his own, and Lucy's the guest of honor. It sounds so good. It sounds like it takes place in a cozy town. The plot seems engaging enough. We're just gonna have to play it by ear and see. But I like it. as far as the book blurb goes. Now we're gonna move on to Christmas. I have 2 books left. They both are Christmas. Let's dive in. This one I have read and absolutely recommend to everybody. It's called Skipping Christmas. This is by John Grisham, and if you've ever watched the movie Christmas with the Cranks, the skipping Christmas aspect might sound familiar, and that's because Christmas with the Cranks was based off of this book, and funnily enough, they stayed true to the book almost to a T. Tim Allen, who plays the lead, always adds his own flavor of humor to the movie, which made it spectacular. And when you add Jamie Lee Fox being the wife of Tim Allen in the movie, it just, all the chef's kisses, so good. It's one of my favorite movies for Christmas that I rewatch every single year without fail. This book is what the movie was based off of. It's a quick little read, just as funny. You'll breeze through this, but it is so sweet. I absolutely love this book, and I recommend it to everybody who wants a quick, cozy Christmas read. And last but not least, we have this book. It's called Pride and Prejudice and Mistletoe. It's by Melissa de la Cruz. And I'll be honest, I didn't even read the front cover. I literally saw the title and put it in my bag. So I'm gonna be discovering what it reads on the inside right along with you. Darcy Fitzwilliam is 29. Beautiful, successful, and brilliant. Oh, this is not a typical, sorry. Darcy Fitzwilliam is a girl. This is not Pride and Prejudice with an extension. This is a modern play on Pride and Prejudice. Okay, we're there. I got it. Let's continue. Darcy Fitzwilliam is 29. Beautiful, successful, and brilliant. She dates hedge funders and basketball stars and is never without her 3 cell phones. One for work, one for play, and one to throw at her assistant. Just kidding. Darcy's never fallen in love, never has time for anyone else's drama, and never goes home for Christmas if she can help it. But when her mother falls ill, she goes home to Pemberley, Ohio. Pemberley, Ohio? It takes place in Ohio. Okay, well, I love this. I don't need to read anymore. That's it. I'm sold. The title sold me. That part sold me. I think we're done here. I'm kidding. I'm not do that to you. She goes home to Pemberley, Ohio to spend the season with her family. Her parents throw their annual Christmas bash where they throw a Christmas bash, but the mom's ill? Okay. Her parents throw their annual Christmas bash where she meets Luke Bennett, the smart, sardonic slacker son of their neighbor. Luke is 32 and has never left home. He's a carpenter who makes beautiful furniture and is content with his simple life. He comes from a family of 5 brothers, each one less ambitious than the other. When Darcy and Luke fall into bed after too many eggnogs, Darcy thinks it's just another one-night stand. But why can't she stop thinking of Luke? What is it about him? And can she fall in love? Or will her pride and his prejudice against big city girls stand in their way? Pride and Prejudice and Mistletoe is a sweet, sexy, and hilarious gender-swapping, genre-satisfying retelling set in contemporary America and featuring one snooty Miss Darcy. This sounds great. In fact, this rings a bell. I think Hallmark did its own gender swap of Pride and Prejudice, if I'm remembering correctly. But anyway, that sounds darling, and I definitely will save that for Christmas time. All of these books, not the Book of the Month ones, but the ones I got from the fairground, were all 50 cents each, which equaled out to, I think, $6. Not bad. Very happy with my book haul, and I foresee a lot of reading in my future. I also can't wait to decide what books I want to send to my giveaway readers. I have ideas. I even have other books set aside that I've found here and there that I was thinking about. So the ones that they get may not even be in this stack, but they also might be. Who knows? I hope you guys enjoyed coming along on this vlog with me. I know it was probably a little bit shorter as far as vlogging content goes. We've done a lot more chatting than vlogging, but I thought because it's October, because it's cozy season, because it's autumn, a bookish video wouldn't go amiss. I know I'm really into listening to what people are reading right now, especially when they're new recommendations that I haven't heard of. I mean, I love hearing about what's on trend right now and what's popular, what people are loving, because if the masses love it, I usually like it too, but sometimes I just like a book that's sort of been overlooked, that's kind of gone under the radar, and then someone happened to find it and fell in love with it. I want to fall in love with that book too, especially when it's cute little books like these. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today. Just don't ask me where I'm going to put all of these books because I genuinely don't know. I have one bookshelf over there and it's full. So I'm gonna have to get creative. I think there might have to be a stack here. I could maybe add another stack over here. Just, you know, I've got options. They're just not bookshelf options. Oh, the sacrifices you make as a bookworm. I hope this video ticked off your box of coziness and gave you some ideas of things to read this October. If you're new and haven't done so yet, or if you're a casual lurker that just hasn't got around to it, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a future video from me, and don't miss out on the big reveal when it comes. October is shaping up to be a really exciting month, to the point where I don't know when I'm gonna schedule in breathing or sleeping because so much fun is happening. You definitely don't want to miss out on any of that, so make sure you subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next one. Love you guys. Mwah. Bye.